everyone. How are you guys doing today? My name is Quentin Robinson, and I'll be your instructor for today and maybe even in the near future. I'm from South Carolina, from Columbia, South Carolina. My dad was in the Army, and I got married to a beautiful woman that is in the Air Force. So for me, by trade, I was an electrician. So every time that, it was time to move, which was every 3 or 4 years, we ended up having to, well, I ended up having to start over. If I wasn't starting over, it typically was because the company that I worked for would be able to transfer me over to another state or where we were going. But it was very, very, very taxing on my body, and I was like, you know what, I'm getting tired of this. I'm out here in the elements, as far as like the weather. And I just want to do something. I want to work for myself. I don't like waking up in the morning for someone else. I don't like um, being told how long my lunch break was going to be. I didn't like, having to explain myself if I was in the bathroom too long. It was just so many things that, I did not like. And, just working like that. Now, don't get me wrong, the money was good, but at the same time, I was like, there has to be an easier way. So just like a lot of you, I started looking for different ways for me to start a business. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and I'll jump into landscaping. But then I was like, you know what? No, I think I'll pass on that because, that's just as taxing on the physical body as being an electrician. So I was like, well, you know what? I may just do my own electric service, my electrician service, and just do it on my own. But then I was like, you know what? If I do that, then I'm still in the same boat as far as like working. And I was like, you know what? I just want to do something new. So I ended up stumbling across dispatching. So when I stumbled across dispatching, the thing for me was I took all of these different types of courses, and within taking these courses, I started noticing that like, they didn't have certain things for me, right? I purchased a course one time and it was a PDF. They like just gave me like an ebook, and it probably was like 4 pages or something like that. And then I took another one. It was just straight videos. I couldn't ask anyone questions or anything. So I was like, you know what? When I get to a point where I'm able to reach back and help people, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, this training today is brought to you by Robinson Logistics, and it's about iDispatch, right? iDispatch, and so can you. All right, so our promise to you during this training, you will learn about how to make money with no experience dispatching semi trucks. Okay, so I already know some of the questions that you have. Hey, well, you know what? I already work a full-time job. Is it possible for me to work this and work my full-time job? It definitely is. I also get the question, hey, well, what if I got a background? I did something when I was younger. You know, it's still good. You're still able to do it. Some people even ask me, well, I don't have a high school diploma. It does not matter. If you can read, write, and do simple math, you will definitely still be able to do this, but you're still going to have to put in hard work. Even if you don't have any of those things going on, you're going to have to still put in some work. Okay. All right. The second thing, we're going to learn about the different roles of the supply chain, right? So that's learning who's who and who's working for who and how is all of this stuff coming together, right? And then you're also going to learn about what are some of the startup costs for your business, okay? And we're also going to show you how you can make anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 per truck per week, okay? Per truck per week. All right, so what is the role of a shipper? A shipper is also known as a consignor, a person or company responsible for organizing and transporting goods from one point to another. Generally, the shipper bears the cost of the freight, except otherwise stated in the transport contract before shipment. Now, um, with that, let's just use as an example, one of these trailers over here is filled with Samsung TVs. Samsung will then contact someone to be able to move this freight for them, right? And that person that they contact would be known as a freight broker. Freight brokers help owners ship their goods securely and efficiently. Brokers connect shippers with carriers and then help navigate and coordinate all the many moving parts of the supply chain to ensure that the cargo gets safely to its destination. Now, whenever you see a carrier, you could use that as, a dry van, reefers, step deck, flatbed, whatever type of truck, box truck, cargo van, sprinter van, train, ships, planes. There's different ways to move all of that stuff. However, what we teach today, or what we teach on in iDispatch, is for semi trucks. Okay. So what is your role in all of this? All right. Truck dispatchers schedule freight deliveries and arrange pickups of shipments and parcels. Their duties include scheduling truck drivers, relaying shipment details as arranged with customers, and setting up driver routes. Now, within that, whenever we say relaying shipment details as arranged with the customer, remember the broker works for the shipper, the dispatcher works for the trucker, right? Or works for the carrier. Okay. So within that, if something goes wrong with the truck, we need to call our customer, in which our customer would be that broker. Okay. Because they're paying to receive a service. So we would contact that broker if that truck broke down. If we're having problems with the actual shipment, if we got there and they couldn't find the load or whatever it is, we need to contact that broker. Okay. Now, where can you find these loads? I know you guys are already wondering, like, yo, how do you find these loads? Loads can be found online in what's referred to as load boards. This is where brokers and shippers post loads that need to be moved from one place to another for a rate. However, you can negotiate that rate. I say always negotiate for a rate, right? See if you can get some money. See if you can get some money. All right.